Yesterday, we're having a conversation about who's a bigger net positive to society, selfish people or selfless people. And I wish you were there to listen to where this conversation went because it was so entertaining. No way, we need more selfless people. There's a lot of selfish people. But by the time the conversation was done, everyone said, maybe we kind of need more selfish people in the world because the world is revolved around selfish people. Hang tight before you judge. Watch the whole thing. I'm going to make the case to you at the end. If you say, Pat, you have no clue what you're talking about, thumbs down. If you say, this makes sense, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let's get right into it. So before I show this chart to you, let me tell you a story about Mario Aguilar. Mario has been with me now for 18 years. Mario just had a wedding. He got married this past weekend at my house. Beautiful wedding. We had a great time. But I want to tell you about a conversation I had with him 5 years ago. We're sitting down in the office in Dallas. I said, Mario, why don't you own a car? Cars don't move me. How come you don't own a watch? I don't need to have a nice watch. How come you never have money in savings? I don't care if I have money. If I have it, I give it to other people. And I'm going through like, what selfish goals do you have in place? Nothing. I said, you realize by you being that way, you're not a net positive to the world. He says, what do you mean? I said, if you're slightly more driven, other people win. I win, you win, your family wins, your peers win, your legacy wins, your future kids win, everybody wins. If you have something you're going after. The world is a better place if you're in the hunt for some of your selfish goals. So he sits there and he starts thinking about it. This guy's Ubering around all over the place. He's wearing the same thing pretty much every day. Same shoes, same shirt, same pants. Maybe changes it up here and there, but it's pretty much the same routine things. There's nothing exciting going on that he's looking forward to except for his job. We have this conversation. Mario starts making changes. He makes a video about alcohol. I think the last time Mario drank alcohol was 3.5 years ago. The video inspires a bunch of different people. And then he says, Pat, I want to buy this. He buys a nice red Challenger. Car comes in, it's in the back of the building. I see his eyes light up. So look at what it feels like. Then a watch, then a nice suit, then nice shoes. And he starts saving money. Fast forward to today. He's been living on the water in Florida for a few years now. Drives a nice car, has more savings than he's ever had in his life. And I'm talking a few $100,000 of savings. Just 3 years ago, he had $1,000 in the bank. He's got $300,000 in savings today. Doing good for himself. Just got married. About to be a father. Parents was here. Family was here. They're looking at him, so proud of him. What happened to this guy? Just in 5 years. We don't recognize this guy anymore. What happened to this guy? He finally chose to be a little bit more selfish. So watch this. I create this chart yesterday. I want you to think about it and kind of grade yourself as well. Then I'm going to give you different levels to it. Say we have a chart. In this chart that you're looking at, on the top left, this is a person that's 100% selfish and there's zero selfless. The center where the two collide is 50-50, meaning they're 50% selfish, 50% selfless. And then the person on the top right is a person that's 100% selfless, meaning they don't care anything about themselves. Everything's about other people. And in the bottom right, if somebody that has zero selfish genes, meaning all I care about is as much as I do for you, I don't need anything from anybody. So then we continue this conversation and we said, so which one is more realistic and which one doesn't exist? So we created a chart and gave it a name with 11 different levels on where people would be based on their breakdown. And here's what we found out. On the top and the bottom, if a person is 100% selfless and 0% selfish, on the bottom, that's non-existent. It's a myth. You know why? It's impossible for a person not to be selfish. If you're not selfish, you don't eat, you don't drink, you don't take care of yourself, you don't wash, you don't do anything, you don't exist. So that's a myth. A person cannot be 100% selfless. You have to be selfish in order to live, or else you're dead. However, at the top, when you look at the person that's 100% selfish and 0% selfless, those people can actually exist. Some of them are criminals, sociopaths. They're a danger to society because they're willing to sacrifice friends, family, relative, business, career. It doesn't matter. They're 100% all about themselves. However, we looked at the different tiers, and here's what we came up with. So the next level would be somebody that is 10% selfish and 90% selfless, meaning they're selfish enough to eat, to shower, to have a job, to do the basic type of things, but they'll agree with anything anybody tells them. These are people that are weak-willed and generally cowardly. They're a net negative to society. 1 minute they're having a conversation with somebody saying, did you hear what that person said? Yeah, oh yeah, wow, I can't believe it. Then they'll go to the next person who completely disagrees with that person. No, that person said, oh yeah. Zero backbone. Okay, there's other words for it, but that's the level of 1090. The next person is somebody that's 2080. These are folks that are indecisive. They're conforming to everyone. They can't make a decision. So, I don't know. I don't know. They're afraid to make selfish goals and selfish dreams, and I don't know if this is good for me. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm like just kind of like conforming, and I'm indecisive. I'm staying out of it. No problem. The 30-70, these are people that are passive, meek, submissive, tame, Still a little more selfish than others, but not enough yet to start getting some kind of progress about them. They're still more in the net negative community. Then you have 40-60 supporting cast, very good supporting cast, very helpful. They're great people to be having in business to help out with different structures, but they're in the 40-60 mode still. And in the middle is thinker advisor. These are people that are 50-50. They're good thinkers. What do you think about this? I think we should do this. What about that? I don't know. Let me think about the other person's side. Well, you know what? Their side is this side is that. So they get you to think because they can both be selfish and they're selfless. So they're actually a good person to have on the team because they can give you both sides of what to do and what not to do. The synergist and the great teammate is the 60-40. They have goals, they have dreams, they go out there and get it done, they push other people. There's somebody that you're gonna want in any great organization because they are 60-40 and they have their own things that they still want to drive to improve the company, improve themselves. They're reading, they're improving, they're doing all that. They're not content with where they are, so they have bigger selfish goals than being selfless. Then you have the kingmaker, the driver. These people are misunderstood. These people are gonna be pushing everybody, raising standards, disturbing people, but at the same time, they are selfless enough. It's about a bigger dream, a bigger cause, a bigger vision where everybody wins instead of just being about themselves. That is the 30% mixture of selfless and selfish to be able to drive the organization to the next level. The next one is a solopreneur, 80-20. Selfish, 20% selfless. They're still a net positive to society. They set an example of success, but they're bad at duplicating, meaning, look, I'm good. I'm not disrespectful to you. I don't hurt you. I don't take advantage of you, but I'm just taking care of myself. You do you, I do me, and I'm still a net positive to society. Not a great leader, not great at driving other people, but they're good at for themselves. Then you have the next level, which is 90-10. This is the narcissist. The world revolves around them. And the narcissist is actually not a net positive to society. They're a bigger net positive to society than the weak-willed cowardly, but they're not a net positive to society. It's purely about them. And they're willing to do it generally at all costs. They'll use you as a pawn. They'll look at you as a way to get what they can get out of you. It's not about how they can help you. It's what they can get out of you rather than making everybody win at the same time. So when you look at this chart here, some people will come back and say, I can't believe you just said that, Pat. You mean to tell me somebody that's this, they're weak-willed cowardly? Yes. That's generally what happens. You just called me out, Pat. I don't like this feeling you're giving me. I'm not doing this to make you feel good. When I create charts like this, I go and think about myself, how I was at 18, then 28, and what I had to choose to change, and it wasn't easy, then 34, then 35. The only reason I'm looking at this because the last 20 years in having been in the insurance industry, having trained 40,000 different licensed agents in the insurance industry, you look at traits of qualities and you say, man, that guy could have been very big. But man, it was all about him. That person could be very big. But dude, he couldn't get over the fact that his wife kept telling him, you gotta come home early, you gotta come home early. He wanted to please everybody. She could have been amazing, but her mom made her feel so guilty all the time and she fell for it. That person could have been amazing at, they could never make up their minds. It was always one day this, one day that. That person was an incredible driver and they built so many different leaders. They pissed a lot of people off, but they also built a lot of different leaders. So if you judge them on success, they helped a lot of people become financially free. These are case studies on different people. Now, somebody may say, well, Pat, does this apply to every aspect of your life? You know, as a mother, if I'm pregnant, shouldn't I be selfless? Yes. This applies to business. Let me read a quote to you that maybe this makes sense to you. And this is by Nassim Taleb. He wrote a book called Skin in the Game, and he said this. He said, I am at the federal level a libertarian, at the state level a Republican, at the local level a Democrat, and at my friends and family a socialist. Pretty weird, right? Wait a minute. You can be a socialist, and you can be a libertarian, and a Republican, and a Democrat? Yes, at different levels. I'm simply giving you who benefits if you are somebody that you have some selfish goals. Your wife wins, your husband wins, your kids wins, your last name wins, your family wins, your heritage wins, the company you're working for wins, the industry wins, everybody wins. The challenge with this conversation is this. You ever rented a car and you're like, this is supposed to go 120 miles an hour. How come when I go to 80, it goes back down? That car is a speed governor. And what it does is it doesn't allow you to go over 80 miles per hour, right? And the rental companies do this so they don't have too many accidents because it's expensive. And they've done the research to know what the numbers they don't want drivers to go above because it's not their car. They don't treat it like their car. The reason why this chart is being shared with you is you may be watching this and you may say, man, I'm kind of part of the narcissist community. No problem. Bring your governor down to 70, okay? And no, anytime you go above 70, people don't like to be around you because it's all about you. But you may be somebody that's at the other level. You're a little bit of a cowardly, weak-willed, or you conform. Maybe you need to bring your governor up and start talking about your selfish goals like Mario did. You know what happened to his life? It changed. Almost everybody I know that's bitter, they tend to come more from a place of selfless than a little bit of selfish. The world is a better place if you have a little bit more selfish gene in you than selfless gene in you. Everybody around you wins if you have that. So if you want the net positive index chart sent to you, text the word selfish to 310-340-1132. Once again, text the word selfish to 310-340-1132. We will send the PDF to you so you can take a look at it and score yourself. Having said that, the video I want you to watch is a video I've not recommended before. It's Mario's video when he talks about what happened the day he chose to stop drinking alcohol. If you've never seen this video, this is a perfect example of somebody who can go from having a life that was chaotic to now having an amazing wedding, one of the most beautiful weddings I just went to this past Saturday, which was phenomenal. The man's life has changed because of the decisions he made. If you've never watched it, click here to watch the video. And if you love the video, send Mario a direct message at Aguilar Social, either on Twitter or Instagram. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.